It's been a roller coaster season for Virgin Racing and its much talked about digital car. Problems with the fuel tank and reliability early in the season have given way to much better performance in the second half of the year. They outqualified Lotus in Hungary and were bang on the pace in Spa. What's more, their all CFD approach means that they're flat out developing this year's car at the same time as next year's because there's no wind tunnels involved. I've come down to Wirth Research to talk to Nick Wirth about the virtual revolution. Nick, what have the new teams been able to prove this year, do you think?
We entered Formula One under the option B idea from the FIA, which is where the teams had a fixed budget cap of 45 million euros to spend on all the operations, chassis, racing, etc. I think what we've shown though is that we can build, operate and run a competitive Formula One car for that budget and take it forward. Particularly in our case, we've shown that we've been able to put performance on the car, stay within budget. We're actually slightly below budget compared to what we planned in 2009. You know, Formula One is the ultimate form of motor racing. The level of competition and the technical level of all of the current Formula One teams is at an all-time high, in my opinion. So it's a really, really tough environment in terms of competing with them lap time wise to do that. But you know, if you look at where we are, we typically kind of hovering around the 103, 104% of the pole sitting time, and in an era where we've got one team dominating in terms of their blistering qualifying performance. I mean, I'm pretty proud of what we've managed to achieve.
The problem for Virgin Racing is that they were so focused on fixing reliability problems early in the season, they couldn't bring the performance gains to the car when they wanted to. The pack they had in mind for Barcelona didn't come onto the car until Silverstone. So how big a gain did it give them?
It was very frustrating to see those plans slip back, and particularly, you know, our close competitors managing to put performance on their car and move away from us, and us knowing what we can do and not being able to show it. And certainly, I would say, leading up to Valencia, that was the hardest time because we knew what we could do. We knew what was coming for Silverstone in terms of catching back up. But, you know, people were getting pretty nervous by then within the team. And so it was a great relief to everybody that when we actually bolted the stuff on the car, you know, it's all translated into performance on the stopwatch. Every parameter we measure, it's hit the numbers we said, and so everyone's kind of calmed right down in that respect. I think since Valencia, we've probably put on between 17 and 20% more downforce on the car, and any driver of any racing car will tell you that when you put that amount on, you can feel it. And particularly the step at Silverstone was a very big step. You have to have confidence that a tool is giving you the right answers. If the CFD is saying it's this much more downforce, and you know, and when you put those numbers into the simulator, it's this much more lap time, then you know the most important thing for the future of this team is, does it translate out? You know, have we got a technology problem? Oh, it doesn't. You know, you've heard the old stories. Oh, that doesn't quite work like the wind tunnel. We haven't had that.
The gap to the slowest of the established teams has fluctuated throughout the year. It's been as low as beneath a second a lap. So is it realistic to think that next season Virgin Racing will be in the midfield pack?
We really, really want to be amongst the midfield, if you like, or the back end of the midfield by next year. That's kind of what we would like to do. You know, and we really need to step up our rate of aerodynamic development to be able to achieve that. You know, they're developing at a certain rate, we need to go faster. If you look at our performance in terms of qualifying speed and also, you know, race fastest laps, we are gaining on the back end of the existing teams. And whether we get to mix it up with them again by the end of the season really depends on how effective our end of season developments are from Singapore onwards.